There we go. Welcome to the South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report. I'm Heath, and it's time to get into the bite. All right, folks, welcome to the show. South Florida's ultimate resource for everything local fishing. We're going to go over what's biting, who's catching it, where it's being caught. We're also going to cover your future marine forecast, moon phase, and tide charts. Everything you need to know to help keep you into the bite. Like I said, welcome to the show, folks. Before we get into this, though, if you want to learn more about fishing, grow as an angler, or just see some... Let's go! Yes, exactly. Already. Or just see some great and exciting offshore fishing adventures. You can start by clicking that subscribe button and joining the South Florida Saltwater Fishing family. All right, folks, let's get right into this. We got a lot of stuff. We took a 2-week break off, much needed, to kind of do a reset in life. All right. Let's get right. We got FWC, right? FWC, our buddies. They got a couple of closures, one opening. So the first thing we're going to do is the Atlantic grouper season is done in Florida. So this is Atlantic state waters, not Gulf. Remember that, Atlantic side, the East Coast. Your grouper fishing is done. And I'm sure that is the same with feds. All right, all the groupers that everybody goes out and catches: black, gad, yellowfin, scamp, yellowmouth, red grouper, coney, graysby, red hinds, which everybody calls strawberry groupers, and rock hinds. So yeah, this season for grouper will open back up on May 1st. There we go. Awesome. I love that you're getting the notifications. Thanks for chiming in. All right. So yeah, folks, right? Grouper season's done for all you East Coast Florida folks. What's up next? We got a closure of gray triggerfish. By the way, that grouper season ended January 1st, a week ago. So yeah, like I said, I'm just playing catch up. We took a couple weeks off, to end out the year. Now we're back to it right here. Gray triggerfish, right, folks? So this is state waters, obviously, which is on the Gulf Coast, is 9 miles out. Closes January 1st and will reopen March. So you got 3 months where you got to lay off the triggerfish. All right, so that's for you Gulf fishermen. And then we got one more, which is spotted sea trout in the central east coast of Florida. So I will I'll go over this real quick here with you. What the central east coast area is. Central east coast is this blue area right here, as you can see. Central east coast. It runs from about the Broward Palm Beach line all the way up to probably Melbourne-ish. Not sure what area that is right there. Let me see if I can. It doesn't matter. It's up in the Orlando area, maybe a little bit more north towards Jacksonville. Okay, Central Florida. This is the spotted sea trout. It opens up January 1st. And the season will run through, doesn't say when it's going to close. So there you go. Hey, if you're into shallow water stuff, catching sea trout, good to go. Right there. Bang. Go get you some. Okay. Let's get right into what's biting. So we're going to start out with our inshore stuff, and we will start out with our good buddy, Pedro Ramos. He goes out and catches everything in the ocean and leaves barely any for anybody else. So he's cleaning house on the sheep's head, obviously, and the yellow jacks. He had a, solid inshore bite. He's got a bunch of stuff. Goes out with his buddies, goes fishing. He says he's been paying the tax man really hard a lot lately here. So that is that. He also had a nice, saw an inshore bite he had here. There he goes. There's one right there. He went surf fishing, got himself a nice snook. So all sandied up, but real light tackle. So that must have been a fun fight. So there's a good case of what you got going on for your inshore bite, right? The sheep's head. Also, the pompano run is starting to happen. And swimming along in pods up and down the beach, you're going to have pompano, you're going to have Spanish mackerel, and you are going to have bluefish. So the bluefish down in Florida are not giant bluefish. They are the smaller sized ones. All right, so let's take a look and see if we can get some other inshore bites going on. Check this out. Here's more of Pedro. His buddy, like you say, he's getting taxed still, but more sheep's head and more yellowjacks. He just goes and picks these off in the intracoastal, in the canals, going out with some buddies and getting it done. So, you know, if it's too rough, you know, saying that you can't get out there is kind of crazy. You know, he looks like he went and did a little trolling. And of course, this is still more from Pedro. Pedro has the sheep's head bite dialed in like a madman. So the sheep's head are biting. He goes out of Juneau. He's up there a little bit north. Yeah, trolling. This was yesterday. Got the dolphin and a $1.50. And then some sheep's head going on. Paid the taxman. Yeah, again, he's up there a little bit north. So that's your northern inshore bite, right? But then again, you know, the surf fishing and all that goodness is happening. Sean Townsend with the flounder. That's obviously an inshore bite. I wish I knew where he got it, but it's probably up north there somewhere. I'm hoping it's in Florida. Anyway, yeah. So, you know, you find these bad boys up around Sebastian, definitely. Not sure where he got that one from. Nice though. Still, nice flounder. Definitely an inshore bite, right? There's out off the lower east coast, they're in deep water, but they're only about the size of your hand. All right, so let's keep going and going and going. That is our inshore bite. And so that's our inshore bite. Let's talk a little bit about the reef. Oh, we got a special picture here. A permit caught in Belize. This is from Gary Friedman. Nice permit, and obviously a great vacation fish to go catch. And hey, perfect. Thank you for the submission. Okay, let's talk about a reef. Here we got Osmani Herrera out there. 2 jumbo muttons. What did he say? He says 29 and 31 inches. Those are some slobs. And luckily, you know, the sharks didn't get them. So the mutton bite is there. You just got to go and, you know, put in the time and find them. Get them. They are there. But, you know, when I think of this time of year, I think more of, you know, reef fishing. This is more of what you're looking at. Yellowtail. It's yellowtail season, right, folks? So you get out there, you got your current, you got your chum, you're going to run into yellowtails. He's got a nice little reef buffet going on here, bunch of grunts, and, you know, ran into some yellowtails. So, hey, you know, grunts and grits and yellowtail tacos. So this is what I think of. Yellowtail snappers. When it gets cold, they're going to be biting, and they're going to swim in with the cirro mackerel also. So that's some reef bites. Let's look here also. I got another one. This is nice. Neil, New Year's Eve out of Palm Beach Inlet. Neil Link. I got a couple of nice grunts and nice kingfish, obviously on the reef, right? So our reef predators are firing up. The false albacore are not as vicious as they were, even though they're still there. So they will give you a chance to run in and pick off the kingfish. But here we go, a nice little reef haul again. Let's take a look. I know I got another. Let me close out this page here because I had someone who, stop. I hate it when it does that. Anyway, here we go. This is John Roth, right? He went out and they were picking off some pelagics, the blackfin tuna. There's a half of bonita, and the dude's got blood all over him. So yeah, they went out and they had some fun. Got a couple of pelagics. So the bonita are there. The tuna are also there. Happy New Year's to you, Sergio. Thank you. And yeah, so the tuna are there. We're going to cover some pelagics right now too and see, you know, because some people are striking out, right? This is Mike Bayless saying, hey, this is the status of trolling right now. Everybody's kind of bored and they're hanging out waiting for the bite. It's not happening. So the fishing at this time of year can be tricky, right? It can be hit or miss. Okay, let's check this out there. So our pelagics, right? We got Mike Long up north in St. Lucie. Nice tuna. So these tuna, obviously, there's a couple of good, decent-sized blackfins swimming around out there. If you can run into them, you know, either live bait them up or troll them up. Mike likes to live bait them up, I believe. So here we go. Down in Marathon, Sundance Sport Fishing. Loaded up on the dolphin. Look at this. So somehow they found him. Yeah, I got a couple of reports down in the Keys. The dolphin fishing was spectacular. So this is nothing short of it. So this was submitted by Brian White. Thank you. And let me go and continue it because I saw another. Here's Todd Prince down in the Key West. The end of Wahoo season until, probably about March. I mean, they're always out there, but he picked off a couple of nice ones right there, as you can see. I believe the Wahoo are going to start showing up in full force back again in March. But, hey, if you run into them, it's always a great day. Some solid catches right there. Some tigers of the sea. So these are our pelagics again. It shows you what's swimming around. The deep reef is going to be your kingfish, your wahoo, and the tuna. More further out, or actually in random places, you've got the mahi swimming around. So let me show you. I got someone who submitted a ton of stuff. I just got to find his post. There we go. Okay, so this is Thad. He went out and did a ton of fishing. They got a nice wahoo right here. Now this is down in Key Largo, I believe. He went out and did several days of fishing. Key Largo, 10 days worth of fishing, all trolling. So that's the wahoo. They went and they got some nice kingfish. And I mean, the list goes on. I'm going to keep going over all of his catches. Look at this. Yeah. So there's that same one. They ended up with some mahi, and there's that wahoo again. Another nice day. Solid boat too. Look at that boat. Crazy. Nice cow dolphin. Definitely a good one right there. So again, the fish are swimming around, right, folks? It's wintertime though. So, the pickings can be thin. You're just going to have to put in the time and go out and do it. And here we go. Nice rainbow runner. That's a, rare incidental catch. Always good eating when you get that rainbow runner on deck. See what else Thad caught. I mean, he pretty much emptied out the darn ocean. Glad he left a little bit. Yeah. And of course, you got the false albacore, the bonito. Let's keep going on his great trip. This is 10 days worth of fishing too, remember, mind you folks. So and the sailfish. So hey, it's that time of year too, right, folks? So the sailfish are swimming around. And also we had remember January 1st, golden tilefish opened up. So if you're into deep dropping, and one of my favorite fish to catch is the golden tilefish. If you got the capabilities and the deep drop rod, go out there and get it. Another one by Thad. There's the rainbow runner, skipjack, and of course, more dolphin. So, yeah, he was saying they were all small schools of dolphin, but, yes, it is kind of crazy to find them this type of year, but hey, good for you. I'm glad he had an epic trip, obviously. 10 days worth of fishing and looks like nonstop action. All right. So here we go. Back to the golden tilefish. This is Michael. Man, he went out deep. Got a pomfret. Those hang out in swordfish territory, and obviously the golden tilefish. So like I said, golden tilefish, go out there and get it if you've got the capability of deep dropping it. I suggest bringing someone who has done it before, knows how to do it, knows how to target them, knows where they live, and can help you identify mud on your fish finder, and make sure you're not in the cobblestone and you're going to run in and catch rosies. Golden tilefish are $750 to $800. So I've also seen swordfish biting. Obviously rosies are biting. So that's our fishing report, right, folks? We got a whole plethora of stuff happening. The surf fishing, the pompano fishing action is going to fire up. Like I said, over the reef, the main thing, if you're really doing it, you're going to do what you're going to do. If mutton snapper is your thing, go on ahead. The yellowtail, that's me personally. I would lock it up. If you got the trolling motors that do the spot lock, that's the best thing. That way you can move spots, or anchor and chump. Get out a ton of chump and go for the mutton snapper. And obviously, if you're into trolling, the reef's alive. It's out there. It's just you got to put in the work. It's wintertime. When it gets really cold and these cold fronts are pushing through, it can be brutal out there, especially if you're not getting into the bite. And that's pretty much what we're looking at this week, right? right now, a cold front pushed through overnight, and we were in the high 50s this morning. Tomorrow we're going to be in the 40s. It's going to creep up a little bit through Saturday, and then there's going to be another reinforcing set of cold air early next week. So the cold fronts are coming right now. We are in the thick of winter. So if you don't like winter, there ain't much further south you can go. All right, folks. So let's get into our weather report. And again, I want to thank everybody for all their submissions and bearing with me while I took a couple weeks off. Hey, I believe it. I've actually wanted to get out fishing, but it's been lucky. All right. Now we are going to start with windy, right? We're going to take a look and see what's going on. Like I said, we got cold fronts coming. The cold front just happened. We got a, northwest wind happening, right? This is right now. So we're going to look at tomorrow morning about 8 a.m. And your wind's going to be coming and going. It's going to be cold, though. Winds coming from all sorts of different directions. Heading, if you're on the west coast, it looks like it's coming from the northeast. If you're on the east coast, it looks like it's coming from the northwest and swooping around. So it's going to be brutally cold tomorrow. It's going to be in the 40s. So, just bear that in mind if you are thinking about heading offshore. But it's going to be, rather breezy. Let's look and see what it's going to do in the afternoon tomorrow. Northwest wind. So it is going to bring up a swell. This cold front is going to bring up the swell. The swell will probably push to, 5+ feet. So if you're heading out, it won't be impossibly bad to get out there. But like I said, it's a swell, so you have to be careful, getting out there and doing your thing. Thursday, it's going to warm up a little bit, but we are going to have a reinforcing cold air push coming Thursday, behind it. That's in Friday. It's going to be cold, and Saturday it's going to warm up and cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot. So, Saturday, this is Thursday. Sorry. Again, we're going to have northwest winds pushing well solid in the, upper teens around, the Tri-County area, closer inland, but the further offshore you get, you're going to have these steady 20-mile-an-hour winds all the way up, and it looks like it's kind of giving you one thing on one side of the state and the other on the other side of the state. So it's going to create a swell down into the Keys. It's blowing, from the leeward side, blowing away from the islands, which, again, it's going to bring a swell from the northeast. That's Thursday morning. Thursday afternoon, again, the winds kind of peter out, slow down a little bit, but we're still looking mid to upper teens. Friday morning, 8 a.m., looks like the winds start to turn easterly again. So inshore, interestingly enough, you've got, pretty much it lays down. So this is your reef trolling. This is about, 4 to 5 miles out, and it looks, fairly doable. But remember, once your seas have picked up, they don't automatically settle down in a couple of hours. All right. The Keys all the way down, they're getting blasted by pretty much a northeasterly wind. This is a northeast wind, and the west coast is going to have that east going wind. So they'll have pretty calm seas, but that shallow water over on the west coast, and those shallow state waters is always fairly calm until you get offshore and start getting into deeper stuff. Friday afternoon, the wind shifts to the southeast. So we're going to have a shift in the wind. And again, I would just want to mention while we're going over this past weekend, the weather forecast between here and WindFinder and the buoys and everything, they were saying crazy stuff. Like it was going to be 3 to 5, 4 to 6. And in reality, the reality of it is that it was actually fairly flat both days. So again, this is just a forecast. We can only go off of what everybody's telling us. But again, make sure, look out, use your other sources, use your webcams and stuff, and take a look at the ocean, because this stuff could be entirely wrong. And, you wait a little bit till daybreak and you can see out those webcams and it looks flat, it looks doable, man. Get out there and do it. So this is Friday, Friday afternoon. The wind shifts to the southeast. Let's look at Saturday morning. Almost a southwesterly wind. So again, we'll be looking at that swell. I remember Saturday when you got the west wind, that's why our temperatures will pick up. They will rise a little bit, but then again, they're going to drop Sunday. So we got a lot of wind happening this week. Whether or not it's going to make the ocean crazy is different. So, and then here we go Saturday afternoon from around the Broward Palm Beach line. You still got that southeast wind running calm down in the Keys, but then it pushes from the southwest. So yeah, I'm sorry, northwest up north and then southwest down here and kind of converging. So you got a little bit of craziness. Greetings from Phoenix. Hello, how you doing? So yeah, we got some weird weather happening again. This is wintertime stuff, so it's going to be messy out there, and it's going to be cold. Sunday morning, again, heading pretty much from the northwest a little bit, and again from the southwest, converging out here by the Bahamas. Miami looking pretty dead. Inshore on the Keys, light stuff. Everglades National Park and all 10,000 islands. It's shallow water, so regardless of what's happening with the wind, Tampa Bay looks like they'll get cut a break over the weekend. It's just going to be cold. That's Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. It looks like it's letting up a little bit in the afternoon. So, you play it by ear and see if, it's doable. Again, check. These readings are going to be all over the place. So what's reality might be totally different from what all of these forecasting tools are going to say, right? So that's Sunday. We're looking at 5 to 10 from the northeast. Monday, let's look at next Monday. Monday morning, it looks like we're coming from the northwest, again, ripping in the mid-teens to higher teens. And again, it's kind of swooping down. The further south you go, it turns southerly, and then it turns easterly as you get to the other side of the state. Monday afternoon, still pulling from the north pretty hard. Again, like I said, we're going to have reinforcing cold air coming Sunday and Monday. So these cold fronts aren't going anywhere. We're going to have several days where we are going to wake up in the 40s in, down here in Palm Beach, Broward area. So, we're not just, it would be typical if you were talking, Indiantown, Stewart, the Treasure Coast, but the further south you go, when you start getting into those 40s, it's winter, right? But it's unseasonably cold. All right. And yes, I am a Floridian. So when it's 78 degrees, I'm cold. All right. Monday. So that's Monday afternoon. Tuesday morning. More of the same. We're still looking at those mid-teens coming from the northeast, pushing. So we're going to see what happens with the waves here. Tuesday afternoon, same stuff. Let's look and see what Wednesday's giving you. More of the same. It's the wind's shifting from the northwest to the northeast. It's all over the place. So let's head back to tomorrow morning and let's look at our waves. Let's see what's going to happen with our waves. So we've got, you see, this is what they're saying. So this is a swell, right? Again, now if we zoom in, your deep reef stuff and all your goodness is not too bad. It's, they're saying 2 to 4. It's really, so if we click here, it's they're saying a 5-foot swell off Boca Raton. So with a period of 7 seconds, further up in Palm Beach, they're saying a 6-foot, 7-second period. So that's tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, it looks more of the same too. Down in Miami, right? Down further here. If we go further off the Keys, look, the Keys got some light stuff, especially, out over the reefs and stuff tomorrow, because the swell is all up here from being pushed by the front coming through. So let's zoom out a little bit and let's go. So that's Wednesday afternoon. Thursday morning, there's a big swell coming, and it looks like it's a bit of a confused sea, but I'm sure that's just big swell stuff. So if we zoom in and that's way out there. That's 15 miles out there. You're looking at 7-foot seas with a period of 2 seconds. That's gnarly. we go closer, we're looking at 6 foot with a 7 period second. So there's going to be a point out there. What winds do you like to fish? I prefer a southeast wind, which always pushes in the debris from the Sargasso Sea to the south, from the Caribbean Sea, pushes in the debris, which brings in your predators like mahi and stuff over. And, it also keeps that onshore breeze keeps you a little bit warm. When you get the more northeast wind, the northeast wind is the wind that I dislike the most. I guess that's the way I could really answer that. What's the wind that I don't like? I don't like the northeast wind. West winds are always good because they produce a swell and calm down the sea. But the best fishing wind, I would say, is east to southeast. Thank you for asking. All right, so yeah, we got a swell coming up, and it's going to be nasty. Thursday afternoon, the swell continues to come down. So if we're looking at inshore, you're still looking, they're saying 7 foot. So, like I said, you're going to have to use your resources, use your webcams, your beach cams, your inlet cams, anything you can to actually get a real good look out there and see what's really happening. Friday morning, that swell has subsided, and we're looking at, again, down in the Keys, you're looking at 2 foot or less. Hello. If I click on it, yeah, 3 foot down in the Keys. But if we go up, the Palm Beach area, they're saying 6 foot swell, northeast swell. This will be a swell again because you're going to have winds coming from the northwest. So, but it might be doable. You just, again, you got to look outside. And like I was saying, on the West Coast, in Everglades National Park, Tampa Bay, everything, that those shallow waters are, regardless of what the wind's doing, it's always doable out there. And their grouper season has not shut down like the East Coast has. All right, so let's keep going. Let's zoom out just a hair. You can see that swell. It's coming and going, coming and going. That's Friday morning. Friday afternoon, again, it's still more of the same. So you got this swell, say a 3 to 5 foot swell. Hard to say. Again, if you do go out and there is a swell, you just got to time it getting out of these inlets, right? You don't want to be in the middle of a set of waves trying to get out. You got to wait for the break in the action. All right. Saturday morning, it looks a little bit lighter. Aloha from Port Canaveral. Thanks for the report. You're welcome. Doesn't feel like Florida today. No, and it won't feel like Florida for the next several days. Like I said, tomorrow, you're in Port Canaveral, you're going to be in the 30s. Oh, good Lord. Hey, thanks for showing up. C-Suite Charters. I like that. All right. So yeah, Saturday is looking a little bit lighter, right? So if we zoom in, let's stay off Boca Raton where I would be fishing, a 5 foot swell with a period of 8 seconds. So the period is increasing, which means, your swell is getting more smooth up and down. Down in the Keys, they're having waves coming straight at them from the south. So, and that's up and down. Lower Keys all the way up to the upper Keys is going to be brutal, a little bit, bumpy offshore. As you go further north, all the way up into St. Lucie and stuff, you get this weird swell. Fort Pierce, Vero Beach looks a little light. And again, the West Coast is the West Coast. It's shallow water, so it's hard to get a big wave when you got no water for a wave to work its magic in. So that's Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon, more of the same. The waves seem to start coming from the south now. So might have a change up in the fishing, right? When you have your waves switch directions on you and your wind's playing different things, that can mess up your bite. So just be careful. Yes, we're shut down on grouper on the West Coast. Oh, we had 2 weeks in July. Wow, that's horrible. Yeah, thanks for that. I get the reports from the FWC, and if I read it and I keep going through, I just oh man, that's a rough one right there. 2 weeks. That sounds like our golden tilefish season over here in on the East Coast. Thank you for the information. Is that all? Is that all of the grouper, or just like the gags and the blacks or something? Thank you, though. I appreciate that. We shall continue. Again, looks like we're having a switch up, and that grouper went through me for a loop. All right. So this is Saturday afternoon. Let's look at Sunday morning. Lightening up. We're looking at, probably 2 to 4 foot seas, 3 foot at 7 seconds. So Sunday, this is Sunday morning, right? So Sunday morning is looking a little bit more doable, Tri-County area. The further north you go, it looks like, it's going to be a little sporty out there, but not probably completely undoable. So Sunday is looking more good. Clearwater area fishermen. Okay, thank you very much, Randy. Thanks for your input about the grouper. I really appreciate it, Randy. Thank you. From Clearwater. Yeah, so yeah, you got that the inshore shallow stuff for miles. All right. So again, Sunday looking a little bit lighter, right? So let's go to Sunday afternoon. Yeah, more of the same. Look like it all grouper. Okay, thank you very much. That clarifies that. All okay, so it's the same thing. When they shut down grouper, they shut down grouper. All right. Thank you, Randy. I appreciate that. So, you West Coast folks, if you are just now chiming in, all of your grouper is shut down. You had a whole 2 weeks in July to get them. That's horrible. All right. So, again, Sunday afternoon. Not looking too bad. 3 to 4. We'll check out what NOAA's going to say. And again, like I said, Sunday's looking like the day to do it if you're going to get out, especially on, the Tri-County area and down in the Keys. Monday morning. Looks like we're starting to pick up again. Like I said, we're going to have some reinforcing. We're going to have some reinforcing wind coming on, pushing down, again, more cold stuff. So, yeah, Randy, I'm sure you're taking the up in Clearwater. Yeah, you're fairly cold right now. You're going to be in the 30s apparently tonight. And, for a few days. Okay. So this is Monday, right? Monday morning. We're starting to pick up again, which let's see what happens in the afternoon. Yeah, that swell's going to be following the reinforcing cold air that's coming down. Let's look up here on our West Coast to see what's happening. Yeah, they got, it's fairly light all the way in, all the inshore stuff. Like I said, usually you got to get way the heck offshore to get into any, sizable water out there. So a lot of what everybody does is that shallow water stuff, unless you're doing a long range trip. And the same goes with the East Coast. Further north you got to head out 30, 40 miles to get into any sort of, water. Monday. All right. So that's Monday afternoon. Let's look at Tuesday morning. Same stuff. So, and then Tuesday, it's wood stove kitchen free heat. That's it. Sounds good. Listen, cannot complain about that right there. Sounds good to me. Keep warm. Stay warm, buddy. And Tuesday afternoon, yeah, more of the same stuff. So the waves are going to be, iffy. And like I said, if anything, we're looking at a swell coming from the northeast. Sunday looking like the lightest day according to Windy. Let's look at our rain. So let's start tomorrow morning. Not much. Again, it's the dry season, right? It's winter. The rain only comes in front of these cold fronts, and then once that passes, that's when you get your rush of cold air, and a lot of it has been raining itself out up in North Florida. That's tomorrow. That's tomorrow afternoon. Let's look at tomorrow morning. Yeah, again, dry. So Thursday morning, this Thursday, again, it's going to be dry pretty much all week. We might see a little bit of rain maybe this weekend. Let's see. Thursday, Friday morning, dry. Friday afternoon, still dry. Let's see what happens on Saturday. I could have sworn I saw some moisture in the air, but yeah, there we go. There it comes. So again, Saturday, remember, Sunday, I said we're going to have a reinforcement coming. So Sunday, Saturday afternoon, it's around the Okeechobee area. It'll pass through Saturday night. Come Sunday morning, we will have drier air, and that's when we're going to get cold again on Monday. That's your front. That's the next front. Big, front. It's not just reinforcing. That's the actual front, like the one that is just past Sunday into Monday. Looks like it's still hanging out a little bit. But I wouldn't expect too much rain. Like, it's not like downfalls. Unless it possibly could hang out all day and, be one of them dreary Seattle days where it's gray all day, just kind of drizzling all day. Monday afternoon, it looks like it wants to dry out. Tuesday, drier air. So yeah, that front looks like it might stall a little bit or take, the better part of Sunday into Monday to pass over. That's what we're looking at, folks. That's our rain. So let's move on and see what Wind has to say about this. WindFinder, we're going to go to, which is basically the written version of Wind. All right, so here we are today. Now let's look at tomorrow. Winds from the northwest shifting to the northeast. Steady. They're saying, low teens, below 10. A little cloudy. Northeast swell 4 to 5 foot with the period of 8 to 9 seconds. So that's that's not too bad tomorrow. It's just a big swell. Like I said, make sure like I said, these forecasts, this information that we were provided this whole last weekend was entirely wrong. They were wrong all weekend long. It was dead flat out there. They were saying it was going to be 4 to 6 foot seas, and it was ripples in the ocean. So again, use your live resources and come to your own conclusions, but this is what we got to go by for now, so we will. Thursday, again, north starts out northwest, ends northeast. Same with Friday, and then it makes a turn from the southeast, gives you a little bit of a break, pushes in some of that warmer air, which will be the warm up on Saturday, and then again we'll come back and get bamboozled by another cold front on Sunday. So again, steady winds from the northwest in the mid-teens, slowing down overnight, pushing back up in the afternoon. Still, this northeast swell, 3 to 4 foot, it's an 8-second period, 7-second period, not real swelly. We go after sea bass when it's cold in the shipping channel by the Skyway. Sometimes catch over 100. Man, bring home sometimes 40. Biggest one. Good Lord. Sounds like fun to me. All right. Thanks for all the info. I really appreciate that. That can really give some folks who are wondering what to do when it's cold and miserable. Here is up on your pretty much mid-state West Coast in Clearwater. Sea bass, Skyway bridge fishing, over there. Get her done. Okay. Saturday, south starts kicking it, and then into Sunday when the cold front comes, it starts laying down, right? And again, like we saw, the waves look like they're going to lay down a little bit coming from the northeast Sunday. So Sunday might be, a doable day. Again, it's going to be cool out in the morning. Yeah, Sunday does look like a good day, doesn't it, Sergio? So, there you go. Paddle tail jigs. Yes. Yeah, you got to jig them up, huh? Having some fun with the sea bass. All right. Monday, again, we're getting back into the cold stuff. And the seas aren't too bad. Starting on Sunday, the seas look like they're going to lay down, 2 to 3 foot. Got that northeast swell again past the cold front. But so remember, you're going to have better conditions to get out there. It's just going to be cold. So that's what we got going on there for that. Let's look at what NOAA has in store for us real quick. We are carrying on, folks. Let's hurry up and blast through this, right, NOAA? Okay. NOAA, we're looking at 4 to 6 foot seas tomorrow, Thursday, 15 to 20, 4 to 6 ladyfish. Yes, the great bait, ladyfish. Thursday, yeah, Friday, it's showing Sunday 2 to 4. And NOAA's kind of jiving with what everybody's saying going through the rest of the week. You've got these north winds, north to northwest winds in the teens. We're looking at a northeast swell 7 seconds. Come Sunday, they're not really saying it's going to calm down because of the broad area that they are catching, that they're covering. So, NOAA really isn't being effective for this forecast. You're really going to have to take a look out the window. All right, let's go on and look over our moon phases real quick and boogie on. Today's moon phase. All right, so today we are waxing, right? Again, for those of you that are new to all this, waxing means we're heading towards the full moon. Waning means you would be heading away from the full moon. All right, so today we are at 58% waxing. Tomorrow, stop. Tomorrow, we're at 69%. So we're heading towards the full moon come, the early part of next week. So this is tomorrow, which would be Wednesday. Thursday, 79%. Friday, 88%. Saturday, 94%. Sunday, 98% waxing. Monday, full moon. And then we begin to wane off. So if you are a Wahoo guy and you like to go out, this is, and you can get out, I would say, Sunday you're at a full moon. It's usually, typically, if you go historically speaking, the people who fish the moon for Wahoo, it's a couple days before, a couple days after. So gotta, some people fish by the moon. Me, I tend to, I fish a lot for pelagics, so I like it when the moon isn't so bright and full. The pelagics are feeding less at night. So we are working towards the full moon, which means the bait fishing guys ain't going to be doing their jobs come the end of the week, beginning of next week. They will wait till the sky is less illuminated and go out and, keep getting you them goggle eyes once the moonlight is less, so that you can keep catching them sailfish, right, folks? So that's what our moon is doing. So if you get a chance to go out there and you are, I talk about the Wahoo, but then again, don't forget, your snapper fishing can be very effective as you approach the full moon too. So just things to think about. Jetty fishing for snapper is not necessarily the thing, but you watch what happens over the reef. And if you're dialed in on that snapper bite, it could work as, you're approaching the full moon. All right. So let's look at our tide charts coming tomorrow. Remember, tides are very important for when you are fishing inlets or jetties or anything like that where you've got flow of water. And very important. We go over this all the time. If you are fishing a inlet, whether you're on the boat and you're out there, you're fishing that water flow, or you're on the jetty and you're fishing that water flow, the tide has to be going out. If your tide is rising coming in, you're going to catch nothing. You don't like it going up, you like it going down. Yeah. Everybody's got, their own sort of mysticisms about the moon and what it does. Like I said, I prefer a darker moon phase for fishing. I just find it, historically, I have more luck, more productive fishing days when the moon isn't so relevant. Now, whether it's not, I've never really thought about it as to whether it's waxing or waning, like you're saying, like right now it's waxing. I just kind of like it when it's less bright up in the sky. All right, so back to our tides, right? Again, if you're fishing the jetties, if you're drifting, if you're trolling, if you're on the jetties, if you're doing it, you need that outgoing tide. So right now in the mornings, if you're hitting that stuff up, it's a good time to hit your jetty. In the morning, we are finishing. We're in the latter 2/3 of the tide flow out. Also in the evening, you're about halfway through as the sun starts to set. So remember, you got two things working for you or against you when you are fishing a water flow from an inlet. One is the tide has to be going out. Two, it's the time of day, right? So the good thing is that the tide's rising pretty much during the better part of the day. It's going out in the evening, which the fish bite is good, and it's going out in the morning, which is good for the fish bite. So come Thursday, again, you're in mid tide in the morning, and you're about a third of the way through it pulling as the afternoon closes in on you and sun starts to set. Friday, you're a little bit less than halfway through as the sun starts to set. And if you like to fish into the darkness from those inlets, there you go. Guy, and you're going, for that snapper bite or the jack bite, maybe even some snook action off those jetties. That's what's going on there. Saturday, you're about a third of the way through. So let's say Sunday would be the day we were talking about where it looks like the seas might start to really lay down. You'll be at almost the top of the tide starting to roll on out, which is great to get out early in the morning and go and start putting a hurting on them fish. And again, if you are the afternoon fisherman, the sun is definitely starting to go down so that, you would be looking for that nighttime bite there. All right, so that's our tide charts, folks. And that is pretty much what is going on right now. So before we close out the show, folks, I just want to invite you, if you are on Facebook, come on, join the South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report. It looks like, hold on, I got to find it. I know it's going to take me a minute here. The front of the page looks like this, minus the on vacation part. So it's South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report. Come on, ask to join the group, answer a couple simple questions. What's your favorite fish to catch? And do you follow the rules? The rules are simple. No spamming, no trying to sell stuff, no YouTube videos, none of that. Just drop in, pictures of what you caught, maybe a little info about it if you feel like sharing. Also asking questions. Very helpful community here. Somebody's asking about what rods. Hey, I'm getting into trolling. What rods do I use? People are asking about the conditions that they're seeing out there. Live bait guys. So very helpful community here. Not too many wise guys on here when it comes to giving answers. And again, this is a private group, which is why you have to ask to join it. It's not a public group. I don't want 100,000 bots on here stealing people's information. So what are we at? We're at 1.9 thousand members. 1,900 members right now, and they are all real people. If I do catch a bot that has snuck in and they're trying to spam stuff, or someone has gotten into the group where they're asking, stuff, I just simply this is have some good time, a little bit of nonsense, but not, making no sense. Anyway, if you're on Facebook, this is the group that drives this live stream every week, right? We drop in a Monday, sort of post, say, hey, show us your catches. If you do submit a post, you're guaranteed that it will be showcased on the live stream. And you also have the chance, as always, of being the thumbnail for the YouTube video live stream of the week. That is, a little bit of incentive to drop something down on in there. Yes. Created an Alberto knot using a PR knot bobbin. Awesome. Hey, sweet. I'm a member of Saltstrong. Hey, awesome. I've watched them for years. And yeah, so that's that. South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report on Facebook, right? If you're there, go on ahead, join them. Love to have you. And the last thing, folks, before we sign off, a little bit of shameless self-promotion here. If you're in the market for some fishing gear, go on ahead and check out the South Florida Saltwater Fishing Apparel by our sponsor, WindRider. Great stuff. These are UPF 50 shirts. They got the South Florida Saltwater Fishing logo on them. You can get it with the gator, a built-in gator, a hood, just a hood, no hood, no nothing. And again, you can sort of customize them. Let's see what we got. You know, you can get the logo on the front, on the back, wherever it is that you would like. And again, these are UPF 50 shirts, quick drying. They keep you cool in the summer. They keep you warm in the winter. And again, they're good. I don't like to use sunscreen, so I got the ones with the hoodies and all that stuff, so I can, you know, avoid wearing sunscreen. I'm not a fan of it. Some people are, but that's everybody's doing. So anyway, long show tonight. That's about it. We're going to pull the plug and let everybody get back to life. Everybody, thank you for showing up and commenting. Randy, Sergio, Hawkeye, TX549, D Hunter, C-Suite Charters, Viral Me Crazy. Everybody, thanks for showing up. I appreciate all the help and support and everything. And we will see you next Tuesday, the 14th. Until next time, South Florida, saltwater fishing, going wherever the cool wind. What did they do to my show? Look at this. I'm going to try to get something accomplished on time and everything. Right? Uh-oh, somebody's leaving another comment. Yes, you too, Randy. Have a good night. And let's see what, oh, there we are. All right. Till next time, South Florida, saltwater fishing, going wherever the cool wind takes us.